Hi there, you're watching the Gardens and Graveyard channel. My name is Charisma, and today we're hanging out at the cemetery, and I thought I'd show you what it's like as a cemetery manager on a daily basis. So today I'm going around with my garbage can and I'm picking up all the artificial flowers that are left on the grounds, and then Spencer's gonna come behind me and mow. So just leave the dead foliage that's not fake on the ground to be mowed over, but all the artificial flowers have to get picked up and thrown out. There's only so many we can save. And in the summertime, flower policy is we don't have fake flowers on the grounds. So just for the ease of mowing, because we have to mow so often. Then of course we have to flip these vases upside down so they don't get damaged when we mow. They go flush up against the ground. I will save the whirligigs and flags if I can, if they're in decent shape. And any plastic or glass vases will go in this separate bag, and then the artificial flowers get tossed. See how it looks before. There are tons of all those little dotted white kind of poofs on the ground. Those are all artificial flowers left over from Memorial Day. And of course all the yellow is false dandelion. This is just half of one section of our cemetery, and it pretty much all looks like that. There's another section over there across the road, and we have 8 sections, so it's quite the endeavor to pick up all the flowers before mowing. Alright, so I'm making my 4th trip to the office, or to the shop. The office is right behind me, and the shop is up the hill. And of course, the sections that I've been working in, removing all the flowers, are down past the office. But just things come up and I have to go back and forth. So it's a lot of walking on days like this. Thank goodness it's a beautiful, beautiful day, but the wind's starting to pick up. It's kind of, I don't know, it's a lot when the wind's picked up. But up here, up on the hill, it's actually not very windy. So anyway, just going up to close the shop for the afternoon and make sure that it's all buttoned up. So here's our shop. We have markers out here that need cement around it. We've got a big shop door. We've parked our John Deere inside. Just gonna slide it on down. Let's see. I have this rope here. Pull. And lock it in. Alright, so then this is the work area that we have where we set our markers. So what typically happens is we lay 3 markers down with various size boards like this and create a mold. We put the marker down upside down. This is a bronze marker. It's getting repaired. It has like the piece of it has popped off here, so banging it out, welding it, banging it out, welding it, so that it can be put back in the ground. Yeah, so, and then once the marker is set in cement, we take this big chain and some, well, straps and put it around the marker and pull the chain across the pulley here and drop it down onto another thing that's actually in the garage there that rolls, and take it out to the tractor, and then the tractor takes it out onto the property. Let's see, I need to close this. Hook it up. All right. And then all right, so I'm gonna go ahead. This is the front of the shop. Babyland is right there, and then the rest of the cemetery. Across from the shop, we've got 4th edition and the 3rd edition, and the back entrance to the cemetery. All the markers that are waiting for cement, and then we're gonna just walk around here, and I'll show you the next part of a project that I'm working on is to stack all these. We've got these bricks and just random pieces of wood and cement that all need to get stacked up. various reasons we have these markers in cement back here and not in the ground. Some of them are duplicates, accidental duplicates. Some of them were people who were disinterred and moved to another cemetery and their family chose not to bring their markers with them. And one is a companion marker back there that the couple purchased ahead of time, and then they divorced and they do not want to be buried together and they don't want to share a marker. So there's lots of reasons why we have different markers. And then we have a big stack of granite and marble back here that I need to stack up. So you could see it gets really weedy because it's just like hard to maintain with all these chunks of granite and cement in here. So I want to get all of this out of here, stacked up nice and neat, so we can easily maintain this area. We are getting a new septic tank, this is a test site for a septic drain field. So that's what this is. We have one over there as well, for the city to decide on what they want done. We have all these liners. Now this is a liner, cement liner, and this is a cement vault. The difference is the liner has drainage holes and the vault does not. We need to move all of these over to that side of the building so that they are not visible by the public, and the excavation can happen for all of the sewer stuff or the septic stuff. So for the 3 sections that I cleaned up this morning and afternoon, it filled up 4 garbage trash bins of fake flowers, and like I guess maybe 1 garbage bin full of like whirligigs and wreaths and different things that we did save. We saved some fake flowers for the public to use, to reuse. We can't save them all, and many of them are faded and they're just trash now anyways, which is why I really hope that our cemetery gets on board with other cemeteries across the nation and does away with artificial flowers, because really they're just trash and the ocean is within eyesight from here. So having fake flowers and plastic on the grounds just doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, this is another day in the life of managing the cemetery. So I thought I'd show you a quick glimpse at some of the office stuff. So this crazy filing system is all markers in various stages, contracts for markers in various stages. So either they've been ordered, we're waiting for proofs, we're waiting for the markers to be received, we're waiting for them to be installed, we are waiting for families to make decisions on design and color and all that kind of stuff. So I would say probably 80% of all of this are different markers in various stages. Some of them are waiting for military markers, some of them are waiting for military medallions, just a whole bunch of different things. And there's a few others. There may be a lot purchase that we need to make a deed for, that we have to make an appointment at the bank to have it notarized. Those types of pending files go in here. We have our calendar that we just keep track of what's going on. This is July, but you could see how full our calendar can be. This is the month of June. Close to every single day has some kind of thing going on. So we have burials and appointments with families and meetings and appointments with the bank. So lots going on. And then over on this side, we keep our upcoming burials right here. If it's a little ways out, we'll have them up here in this pending file here, but mostly we like to keep them front and center so everybody is really aware of what's coming up. So we have an urn burial, but that's not till middle of August. But we have a casket burial coming up this next week. We have an urn burial coming up. And we're waiting to hear back from this family who called to let us know that there's going to be another burial, but we don't know the specifics on that. So these are pending burials that we're aware of. And on this wall, my assistant has all of her information super easy to find. So she's got like our price list and what it means, what it means. The specifics on burial options and information, how large is our lot, how many people can fit in a lot, how large is the niche inside of the niche wall, all that type of thing. And then we have phone numbers for local companies, other funeral homes, and emergency contacts, and memorial companies are all up on this wall, vendors and that type of thing that we work with on a regular basis. And then in this file, we have easy to grab price lists and marker price lists and packets of information for the customer that we could grab for new customers that come in. And then in this file is pending files that are just holding. They might be a family that came in and said, oh, I want to buy a lot near my parents, but they're not ready to purchase. So we make them a file and we get all of their information, such as like where they want to be buried and who their family is and that kind of thing. And that way, when they are ready to come in and purchase, we've already got their file all ready for them. And then over on this side, this is my assistant's desk. That she has all of these are kind of pending what's going on right now. This is just like immediately what's going on, bank statements and bills and that type of thing on top. And then we have board meeting minutes and information to give the board. Right now we're working on getting a new septic tank. So we've got a lot of information about septic tank stuff. And then she's just got some other things. This is more septic tank stuff. And things to do with our pre-needs company, AFCTS. Just, things that are happening like right now. And then this, she's got her bills to pay. This is, we got the mail and it's time to pay bills and QuickBook entries to do, she's already paid the bills, and then she puts the bills that have been paid into this folder, so she knows she needs to put it in QuickBooks. And then these are files that are ready to be entered into the computer, into our internal filing system, which is called HMIS. So we'll make sure that these people have been entered into our online filing system before we put their folder away. Part of that is to also include, I'm here early in the morning, so nothing's turned on yet. This is my office, and in my office I have all of the maps to all the sections of the cemetery. And in this drawer, we have a catalog system that has everyone's information. So we pull their card and it has this is the deceased information. So it has their name, when they were born, when they died, when they were buried, where they are located on our cemetery, and what funeral home the family worked with that took care of the body after they died, whether they're in a casket or an urn. And then it takes down information about contact information and what kind of a marker they have. So that's the basic information on each one of these cards. So part of that filing, those away is not only putting it on onto HMIS, but also making sure that their card is up to date and filed away, and their name is on the maps. that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. Part of my big project is I do a lot of research on the cemetery. So currently I went through everything and took inventory of how many lots we have available for sale for casket burials, urn burials, how many are on the resale list, and how many lots we have available donated to the families of our community. Some of the other things that I am working on are so I recently just completely updated our HMIS system, which was a 2-year project that I had to do. I went through every map and every card and every person in the system and made sure everybody matched, and matched them with their deeds. We have old deeds from the early 1900s and made sure that everybody was located and put on the maps, because things fall through the cracks when there's 150 years of management and mismanagement. Right now, I just got the septic tank approved to be scheduled out in July. We have to put in a brand new drain field, so I had to make sure that the city planners had permits, and that, I mean, we had to find the excavation company, we had to find a plumber and an electrician who would work with, you know, each other to do all of that. So the excavators are going to be here in early July to give us a whole new drain field, because the current drain field is outdated and the slope has eroded away. So we have to put our septic tank and drain field in a completely different place than it was when it was placed in here, probably close to 75 years ago when it was originally installed. So now it's time to go somewhere else. So that was a whole ordeal. And now that that's buttoned up, I'm back to updating cards, just verifying all the cards are uniform. And I'm also working on getting our land resurveyed. It's been, I don't know, like 30 something years since the land was last surveyed. So we need all of the property surveyed, and we need to start working on a new addition, which we have property for, but it is not platted out, which means the city planner has to work with an architect, and they get together and they survey the property, and then they plat it all out and determine how many burials we could have. Sorry, I was interrupted by a customer. So anyway, we're working on getting a new addition approved, and that's like a whole thing, and it takes time. I work underneath a board of directors that are a volunteer. They only meet here once a month for about an hour. So it's a lot of information that I have to feed them and make decisions on, and then I have to act on those decisions over the month. So that's kind of me in a nutshell, and what I'm up to on a daily basis. It's mostly just organizing and scheduling burials. We contract out our burials, so we have to call another company to make sure that they are available. And we work very closely with the funeral home who, takes care of the bodies before they come to us. So we work very closely with them to determine when they're available to come bring the body to us, and then the burial company buries the body, and then we have to file the paperwork and work with the customers and the families to make sure that all of their needs are met, order their markers, and yeah, it's just like a whole thing. So that's kind of it in a nutshell of what I do on a day-to-day basis. There's always variations, but that's kind of a general thing. So I'm going to get back out onto the property and pick up some more flowers while Spencer is mowing this morning. It's really early in the morning. We want to make sure that we're done before it's super hot, because it's getting warm out here these days in the summertime. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was informational and interesting to hear about what we do on a day-to-day basis. And we will see you in the next video. Keep celebrating your life. Bye.